Marvel Snap is a game I like because it finally gave me cards. Good cards like Def and Mysterio. So of course now I'm gonna make a Def deck. The goal is to have many big plays at the end of the game. On turn 6, we'll probably have a zero-cost Sabretooth, America Chavez, and hopefully a low-cost Def. How we're gonna do that? By killing our own things and the things of our opponents, which cost 1 thanks to Killmonger. Our key card is Venom. Free cost 1. On reveal, destroy your other cards at this location. Add their power to this card. Of note is the fact that he eats temporary buffs as well. If a location gives a card a buff that is temporary, there is one that gives all units here +5, he will eat the improved number. So if our 1 power unit is there, it becomes 6, and then he eats it, and he becomes 7. So you can imagine the shenanigans. He's like Deathlock, but good. Also Carnage, on reveal, destroy your other cards here. +2 for each destroyed. 2/2. He's our budget buffet guy. He's like a Samgyup. Any buffed up units or units with more than 3 power, not fantastic for Carnage in terms of efficiency, but he's still there to activate things like Winter Soldier, or rather, Bucky Barnes. So those are 2 cards. What enables them? Alright, I forgot to talk about Def. 9/12. 9? But Pat, how are we gonna cast a 9-cost unit? Well, she costs 1 less for each card destroyed this game, and it doesn't matter whose card it was. All that matters is that it was destroyed. Now, getting her to 0, I think that's not consistently realistic, even if you did have a Def pool in your deck. But getting her to even 1 or 2 or even 3 makes her an extremely powerful play, because now you can play the rest of the cards in your hand and provide a surprising amount of power onto the board. Okay, those are our core cards. What else do we have to support them? Her name is Squirrel Girl. She adds squirrels to other places, which is weird because like that doesn't beat Doctor Doom at all, but I guess that's a nod to the comics. 1/1 on reveal, add a 1 power squirrel to each other location. That is a squirrel. Her only purpose here is for bodies and to be eaten. That's it. Please do not look into that statement all that much. Nova, 1/2. When this is destroyed, give your cards +1 power. The funny thing is, you don't actually usually want this to be eaten by Carnage or Venom. It's not a good meal for them, not meaty enough. You want this killed by Killmonger most of the time. Rarely are you gonna put this in the same lane as Bucky Barnes or Wolverine or Sabretooth. Actually, because people are addicted to putting armor. When they see a Nova or a Bucky, we're like, gotta put armor in that and ruin your day. Armor, by the way, makes everyone in that location unable to be destroyed, which is a very strange way to phrase that, but I am sticking to it, and you can't do anything about it. I wouldn't be surprised to see Nova die in the 6th turn, thanks to a Killmonger, Def, plus whatever other shenanigans we have, buffing the rest of your board considerably. It's not as meaningless as it sounds. It adds up, especially since we have Mysterio in the deck. But Mysterio is for later. First, Bucky Barnes, the premier, delicious meal, which I guess shippers are into. 2 cost, 1 power. Oh, that's pathetic. When this is destroyed, create the Winter Soldier in its place. There he is, the Winter Soldier. He still costs 2 technically, which matters if he gets bounced to your hand. 6 power, it's time for him to face the past. He also counts as a unit with no abilities, so some locations and abilities that affect that will affect the Winter Soldier. Eat him with Carnage. It's okay to eat him with Venom, but that's less than ideal because Venom only gets 1 power off it, but it's still a good play. This gives you what, 11 or so power in a single area? 10 with 1 Carnage? Now that doesn't seem like a lot. It might not be as exciting as say 12 power, but 10 is a lot for 2 drops. And you can pretty much ignore that place and people are forced to commit. Wolverine, well, he's actually kind of an in this deck because while he's good, 2 cost free when this is discarded or destroyed, played at a random location. I mean, I like him, but I feel like I could do more things to him. I guess he's what we would put Hulkbuster on if we had Deadpool. Anyway, just a fantastic meal for Venom. By the way, since I've been talking a lot about Deadpool, I feel like I should show you the card. 1/1 Deadpool. When this is destroyed, return to your hand with double the power. See, it seems great, but no, it actually is just great. It gives you something consistent for Def to feed off. It gives you something consistent for your other eaters to eat off. It's 1, so Killmonger can kill it. With Hulkbuster, he becomes a 1/8 immediately. But he's not mandatory for the deck, so don't worry about it. But I am curious to see how the deck would change with Deadpool there. Anyway, this is Mysterio. He looks like he's about to drop the sickest beats of 2022. 2-5, as you play this, play illusions to other locations, disguise this as an illusion until the game ends. That is an illusion. Which one is the real Mysterio? The real one has 5 power. I'm pretty sure they also count as units that do not have abilities. So they actually get buffs from Patriot in certain locations. Anyway, the weird thing about Mysterio is that the units, they actually are real. They say it's an illusion, but they're just a 2-0 unit. So you can buff them, you can eat them. They're real as far as the game is concerned. My feelings for him are real. Very good for providing bodies. Generally, you don't want to put Mysterio in a row where you're gonna eat stuff. The real Mysterio, I mean, because you lose out on 5 power. Venom does not consider any of the Mysterios to be quote-unquote real, so he'll only get 0 power out of it, or any buffs that were on top of it. Carnage doesn't care. Either way, it's gonna be a waste of 5 power. So put the real Mysterio where you don't want to start eating. He doesn't belong at the buffet. He enhances the buffet with showmanship and magic. Killmonger, free. On reveal, destroy all 1-cost cards. People hate you if you play this. He's single-handedly the reason that Kazoo decks, which I think I'm gonna feature next week, don't work, or at least have to play around his very existence. Great card, activates Nova, kills other tiny 1-drop units that are really good, like Ant-Man. Great card. Sabretooth, another premier meal. Free cost 4. When this is destroyed, return it to your hand, it costs 0. Yeah, you can get up to some shenanigans here. If you duplicate a 0-cost Sabretooth, it goes to your hand as a 0-cost Sabretooth. So you can get up to some shenanigans. Provides surprising amount of power if the other guy isn't paying attention in your last turn, because you can, unless somebody needs a meal, I like to keep Sabretooth in my hand and just drop him when I need him. Surprisingly, he is reliable, which I guess makes sense considering that was his thing in the comics or the cartoons, right? Like, haha, it's your birthday, Wolverine. I'm gonna ruin your life today. Enchantress is a 4/4 on reveal. Remove the abilities from all ongoing cards at this location. Ongoing cards like Devil Dinosaur, Armor, so you can eat your meals, which, by the way, is the primary reason you should never stack 3 eatables in one location, because if they do put an armor in that location, you want to be able to play Enchantress and a Consume unit there. It's a tech card. You might want to remove it. I personally cannot not have her in the deck because she shuts down so many combo decks and so many greedy decks just by existing. America Chavez, 6/9. You always draw this in turn 6 and not before. The greatest value that America Chavez has, aside from the 9 and the very big fist, is that you can't draw her. That means on your draws from 1 to 6, you're only looking at a pool of 11 cards, which makes it more likely that you're going to draw something important such as Death, or Wolverine, or Sabretooth, or your consumers. You can probably replace her with another high power 6, or maybe even Moon Girl. Moon Girl can duplicate Death, and then you can laugh very hard. Or if I get her, Wave, because the way Wave applies is it reduces the cost of the unit or changes the cost of the unit, then discounts apply, which, by the way, I'm going to have fun with that in She-Hulk. Wave, on reveal, next turn, cards in both players' hands cost 4. You can get up to some nonsense here because, as I said previously, this applies before discounts. So, Death, all of a sudden, only needs 4 deaths or 4 destroyed cards for her to cost 0. That's a little too janky for me, but it could work for you. Anyway, that's the deck. Enjoy some. Post-commentary game, that's Agent Coulson. I don't know what they did to his legs. That is not how legs should be. Even when you see the real art. Oy. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the gameplay. I hope I can get a video up next week. I am in the middle of a move. I'm Patinator. I will see you later. No, I don't know why I called the deck Goose Egg, but that is the same exact deck. We got a Nova of Venom and a Bucky Barnes. I'd rather see a Carnage, but who knows what the future will give us. Okay, so now that we have Killmonger on the board, I presumably would be thinking about popping the Nova at an independent period, so Bucky shouldn't land there at all. Gengar, I believe, is a Pokemon, which is why it's taking them so long to click the button on the first turn. Maybe they're on their phone. Maybe they're playing on Wi-Fi despite being on Steam. Who knows? The Shadow might know, but he's not returning my calls, and I think Alec Baldwin is busy with a few other concerns right now. Hello. Finally, a chord. The rock does not matter to me. Well, the actor might, but that rock does not. Six cards cost one less. That's going to work very well for our def. Bucky intelligently is put in a different lane. Enchantress makes me feel good. Seeing a Nightcrawler and an Iceman also makes me feel very good about our next turn. I might just eat that with a Venom if we don't get a... I'm going to get greedy, apparently, and I'm going to play with Sabretooth.
Wind, aid my hand.
There's a storm changing the middle location. Sabretooth is hanging out here, and I'm immediately going to slam this down, even though he has priority, because what choice do I have? He's about to eat it. Besides, playing an armor there in that turn is kind of a weak play since we can buff things there. Sandman is 4-1 and make sure that both players can only play one card per turn, which doesn't matter to me. It kind of does. It kind of works against our Sabretooth. But we have a secret weapon in our back pocket, and his name is Killmonger. We can't play our Def and Sabretooth at the same turn, which is unfortunate. But looking at the board, I don't think we will. I am focusing on the right location because I'm immediately going to give up the left because I'm going to blow up Nova and we won't have anybody there. Luckily, he also went there. That is a weird call, but I don't think he had a choice either way. It was always going to end up either in the middle and flooded or on the right. So it's Strange Academy. I snap immediately because it looks really bad for him. Like I just played Def there because that's the another tied location, and he retreats because we were winning. End of statement. I was going to say something ruder, but I decided against it. Well, it's still called Goose Egg in this recording. I don't know, man. Sabretooth Carnage is fine. I got Enchantress, and he has a Nova, so this is going to be real interesting for everybody involved. Why would I put that there? I don't know. I think that's my Nova. I don't know. That's his Nova. I copied it. I wonder what he got from me. He probably got, like, Carnage or something. My God, I'm playing intelligently lately. It's almost as if I'm learning from doing this. I know that's a strange thought for me too. Turn 5 is going to be annoying. Well, also disgusting, but also annoying because cards costing one more is very difficult for us. Angel, pause here. His thing is, if one of your units dies or is destroyed, rather, he flies out of your deck. Here's the thing. There are 12 cards in your deck. You draw 3 in the opening hand, leaving 9. That's right. And you draw... Hold on. There are 6 turns. You draw 1 in turn 1. And then, so you draw 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. Is 12. You draw your deck? That can't be right. You have 12 cards, right? Anyway, the chances are that you're going to draw Angel rather than get points off him, rather than get his ability proccing. So here we are. It's just not a great call. Turn 4 is going to look pretty good if he doesn't drop an armor, and he does not. Deathlock indicates that he doesn't have a Venom, which is a good sign for me. Mysterio challenges the left lane. Carnage eats the clone, Bucky, and Sabretooth, which is great for everybody involved that isn't him. It's his Carnage turn too. Not a lot of great buffs for him. Since we have our Killmonger, we're going to get so much more value off our own Nova. Silly Mysterio. By the way, playing Mysterio activates all if you play locations. Because it doesn't count as adding a Mysterio to other locations. It counts as playing 3 Mysterios at the same time. So if you see something that's like, if you play a card here, put 3 rocks into your deck, he will proc that. That usually doesn't matter to us, but it might in future gameplay. This is going to be delicious for everybody involved. You know I can't eat as much at a buffet anymore. I hope he destroys more stuff so Def gets cheaper. Well, that actually screwed me up a lot. Because Killmonger at 4 means I can't combo into Nova. Instead, I'm going to play Sabretooth and Killmonger. I don't know where to put Sabretooth, honestly. There's an argument for not playing Sabretooth right now. I guess we put that there to challenge the left lane as well. And because the thing was going to get the buff, we'll be in range to challenge that. But he is winning Jotunheim. That's a little questionable, and we didn't get as many kills as we'd like. So it's going to come down to what the other guy decides. But slamming this down is... I shouldn't be in this game, honestly. I should have put maybe Enchantress on the right. I should have left. because no, he can't afford because he can't afford to challenge this, right? He also turned off his own warpath. That might be why how this could go well. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I did not even consider that Enchantress would hit Warpath. I remember this game very clearly because even I didn't think of that. Not even I. That implies that I'm very smart. I just remember like, oh, what a happy accident. We both played Enchantress there. And I made a terrible mistake that happily worked out in my favor. I wonder if that, like, he gave up. I guess it's still the correct call technically. Because he gave up 4 power for 7. That's not terrible as a trade. And that was, I guess, the location he wanted to defend. Because this one he was already winning. Before the game ended. Yeah, that's technically the correct call. He has no reason to try to... Hold on, it's not the board state there. That's the board state. He has no reason to defend this extra because that just means it's easier for me to win this one. If you're ahead by 2 locations, you try to take the third one, the one that you don't control, so that if the other guy takes one, you still win. But if they take both, well, they have to try to take both, which is a lot harder considering turn 6 there are a lot of bomb plays. That's interesting. He might have been trying to dodge a Shang-Chi because he had initiative on that turn. Every way that worked out for us. And we won the game. By accident, I promise you. All right. I haven't eaten lunch. Which is why we time might be a little stilted. I don't know. I was gonna say I'd play Squirrel Girl first. So that I can surprise them with a Nova because okay, let's hold on. There's a lot of bluffing in this game. Not necessarily bluffing, but like because of the snap idea of the cubes. A lot of people are constantly judging what kind of deck you have, what you could pull out at the end, seeing when they can snap. And that's probably true for most occasions. It's just not true for me, I guess. The point is, it might have been better to play Nova later, combo him in the Killmonger as a surprise, because we don't have Enchantress in hand. There's no guarantee that we're going to get Enchantress in hand. So maybe we should have played the Squirrel Girl first. Maybe. Not sure. Anyway, I'm happy to see the Sunspot. That's Killmonger's snack time. So I guess we'll play the Squirrel Girl now because we don't want to do nothing on this turn. And then we will eat it with a Carnage and give all the squirrels a buff. Maybe. I wish they tell you what Cable stole from you. It's very disappointing. More card fury on Cable, by the way. Cable is a 2/2 that steals the bottom card of your deck. Now, a lot of people are going to say, it's as if he does nothing to you. It does something for the one who played Cable, but it does nothing for the victim of Cable. Because that's a card that, unless you draw cards with Adam Warlock or because of locations, or you need something in your deck, thanks to Lockjaw, who replaces cards to play with a random card in your deck, or Jubilee that pulls a card out of your deck, that might say that you're not really losing anything because it's a card that you did not have. But they are getting a card that you might have an idea of what it is, but they have it. It could be your finisher. So, in short, I like playing Cable to make people mad. Already gonna play Carnage on the right. Yeah, play Carnage on the right. Buff the squirrels. Venom is subpar. Because you actually get less power out of it. No, you don't. You get about the same power, but you can use Venom for other things. The only consideration there is mana efficiency. He morphs into a Venom. I should snap here. He's in a terrible position. Like, absolutely horrid. He's got 1 power challenging Asgard where I get cards, which is delicious for a deck such as mine. Oh, rolling that Jubilee. Let's see what he gets. Sentinel. I get my cards, and it's definitely a snap situation. I also get Def and Bucky. Yeah, I'm probably going to just drop Bucky, Venom, start dominating that lane entirely. But that's extra greedy. There's an argument for putting... Okay, I think I know what I did here. And the reasoning is, even if I did that, I'd get so much power here, but it doesn't matter. I still need to win Sewer System. I still need to challenge Fisk Tower. So my guess is I might drop a Mysterio and then drop Venom. Or a Bucky and then a Venom. Oh no, I appear to have brain damage. Again. Yeah, because it's gonna... The commitment for the right area is huge. What? Excuse me? I might also be thinking about where I'm putting Carnage. There it is. There you go. Good boy. Good pass, Pat. Learning from mistakes. Because I don't care about Sunspot. This may as well not exist. That squirrel. Because we're immediately gonna... Oh, Enchantress, by the way, hits Devil Dinosaur. It is a 5-cost free card. But gains it has ongoing +2 power for each card in your hand. Sorry, that's a thing. Oh, I forgot to mention. Moon Girl is sometimes used in this deck to duplicate Def, but since I don't have Deadpool, it doesn't seem all that worth it. And it's such a adding more steps to a problem you might have already solved. You get what I mean? Anyway. So I'm probably just gonna drop Enchantress, dominate the left turn. The left air. A brain! A moment! Excuse me? I checked the cards in his hand. What is... Okay, so I developed 12 power there. Right? Which puts us up 4. But I feel like Enchantress still would have been better because we would have ended up with 14 power versus their 1, 2, 3 minus 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12 versus 6. That's a 6-point advantage. And I can play another card to challenge maybe Asgard. Am I good? I mean, I know I'm not good, but was I? Maybe I was playing with a cat. Also a bizarre play staying for him. We should have lost that one. I'm going to save that a lot. Okay, last game for the day. I think I picked this just because I see Sinister London. Oh, yeah. There it is. Sinister London. When you play a card here, add a copy to another location. You can easily dominate the game with just that by just jamming people down there. And we get Elysium. Cards cost 1 less. Yeah, I'm going to start slamming cards down. Just to like start copying them and then start eating them and get multiple Sabertooths and Carnage procs. Usually that's an easy win. And the Enchantress is just, you know, great. That's just chef's kiss. We can also counter a, whatchamacallit, an armor using Enchantress. But unfortunately, he is a coward. Instead, he buffs everybody in hand. That coward. We could have had something great. I'll take my 2 Sabertooths, though. I'm probably thinking about how to take the Sabertooth off that side of the board without giving him a resource he can use. Ooh, look at that big Venom. Here's the thing there. He snaps. I don't care. If after the Venom duplicates, he would have popped up over here or wherever with 8 power and continued to grow. That's disgusting. And that's what I like. I think I'm going to go Bucky middle. Yeah, Bucky Sabertooth Carnage. It's not a terrible play. And Killmonger. I'm going to say on Machine World. Apparently I forgot. So he copied my Enchantress. I don't care. I don't have any ongoings. So with a very large White Queen on the left, I'm probably going to start challenging Machine World. Because we have a dominant lead here. He doesn't have his Winter Soldier. He doesn't have a Consume card that worked out for him. Deathlock is Venom writ small. And now I got a Nova, so I'm probably gonna Nova on the left, drop Killmonger on the right. I don't want to give him a free Sabertooth. When you play Machine World, when it copies a card, we're not kidding. It copies it and makes an exact copy of the card. If I played 0-cost Sabertooth here, he would get a 0-cost Sabertooth, which could easily spell my doom. So I'm going to put Nova anywhere. It doesn't matter where I put Nova. That is the correct order. Sabertooth first. What? I can afford that? Wow. Elysium. This is why Sarah decks are so strong. You could do nonsense like that in the 6th turn. Did I do that in the wrong order? I think I did. Then Enchantress. So now we're challenging all 3 lanes and getting a wide buff. This is so weird, right? It's a deck that can go wide as well. It gives me a... I don't know if I snapped here, but I feel like I should have. We're dominating 3 rows. Dominating 3 lanes. We know we're going to get a 9-cost play. Sorry, I needed to move the thing around. We have a 9-cost play. We have... Unless he stole it. No, there's nothing that stole it. 16, 12, 6. So that's 5 power, 10 power, and 1 power. Because Jessica Jones is about to proc. Unless he plays a card there. He becomes... she gets +4. If you don't play a card on her location the next turn. So we're winning. He has to challenge every possible lane just to get somewhere, while I can maybe challenge 2 or push ahead. In this situation, since there's nothing for him to take, I believe the move should be to extend my advantage and secure the best locations, which is this location because it's a 5-point difference, 10-point difference. This one's a 1-point difference. So trying to defend this is a moot point. Do have America Chavez. So I should put America on the Wakandan embassy if I don't, have a stroke. He can still win. There are still cards that can let him win, but the odds of that happening are very, very low. Like Shang could wreck my left, bro. Huh. Magneto, he has accidentally made me win the game. I believe Magneto's ability is move all 3 and 4 cost cards to this location. We had other cards, but I think he prioritizes the leftmost location and then moves them that way. So that's a neat card. I do want one. So that worked out in our favor. I don't know why Magneto was so cheap. Also, here's VLC. Let's watch that again. Well, I'm going into my extra. I want a Magneto as well. I want all the cards. They are adding a new system for you to get cards in the game. Make it easier. Some credits thing. Look up their comments on it on the website if you want to learn more. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Next week, I don't know. Let's see what the game decides to give me. I'm Patinator. I will see you later.